Hello there, and welcome to another video. A bit of a different one today, but I recently jumped into Skull and Bones, and I wanted to kind of just do a little bit of video on it, as I feel like it's the sort of game where, when it initially came out, it kind of got a little bit of hate, because I think everyone was kind of expecting Black Flag. I know the game itself had some kind of issues with the development stuff. They were going to be very kind of PvP focused, and they didn't. So, for a little bit of a background, I played both the early access of this game and the betas, which I enjoyed them, but I felt like, honestly, I felt like it was the betas themselves specifically. I felt like it was a lot of tediousness to it and stuff. So recently I spotted it. It was on Game Pass. I think it's included now with Ubisoft Plus potentially, but yeah, you have it on Game Pass. And I gave it a go. And well, let's just say I'm probably about, when I started this, I've been probably playing it on and off for a week. And honestly, I'm really impressed with it. It's really, really fun. So anyone who's a fan of kind of naval stuff, I think you should definitely... Oh, there's another player. Hopefully I'm not talking game chat. You should definitely give it a go. So we're going to run over some of kind of the pros and cons of kind of what it's, what it's like. So by the time this video goes live, the new season should be dropping. It's the last day of the season. Let me just really quickly show you. If we go to the smuggler pass here. So the way this game works is the kind of the monetization of it specifically is the game is free. And like all of the stuff is, well, it's not free, but it's, if you get Game Pass, it's free. You can actually pay. I'm waiting to actually get it on sale because I want to buy it. But it has so it has two forms of monetization. It has a cosmetic store where you can buy kind of cosmetics, and it has a kind of season pass. Now the season pass, or the battle pass, like any game, you can buy the premium version and you get access to stuff. But you can actually earn stuff for free. You don't actually need to buy the season pass, as you can see. The way it tends to work is there's like 3 different kind of subsections of the pass. Here we have Quartermaster. Let me go through it. So there's some premium rewards, and so there's some like non-premium rewards. It seems for the most part that like the non-premium rewards are generally like weapons and items in the games. Like an example, if we go back to the very start here. So these are premium, but then you get like a little kind of a chest that gives you bonus XP. All the cosmetics are premium. And then you've got like materials and stuff that you use to upgrade, which we'll talk about in a second. But like weapons and upgrades, anything that basically has like an actual overall effect on the game, it all seems to be free. Like these spring loaders, they're like a weapon type. They were free. Armor for the ship, they were free. And then, yeah, we have the next one. We have this one again. I haven't leveled this one too much, but again, it kind of comes with various stuff. You can see what's free. The free items they don't have a little crown by them, and it's honestly, it's pretty fair in what it is. Now, this game does have a PvP to it. It has like kind of it has a PvP game mode like that acts like kind of like I think a deathmatch. I haven't played it, to be honest. I have no interest in playing PvP, but it also has PvE and stuff, which is kind of why I play it. So as well as having these, these, as you unlock them, you get milestones. You can see here for every 10 skull, and every time you level or you get XP, you get a token you can unlock. Every 10 levels, every 10 tokens you put in, you get rewards and stuff. I'm currently 3 rewards off getting the frigate, which was a new vessel. So yeah, so the game itself, very, very cool. To kind of sum it up very briefly, it kind of like, it has a lot of Destiny elements to it, in that it's, there's a lot of different ships and ship builds to the game. There's a kind of the endgame loop. There's kind of a couple of endgame loops. So I've been basically buying all the ships and trying them out, and I've been really enjoying it. There's like a world tier system, which is kind of part of the end game. So I'm currently in the base version. I've been doing the story mode, and the kind of that sort of thing. I have gotten, you've got infamy rank, which kind of as you level up, it basically your pirate becomes more infamous, and eventually you will reach the rank of Kingpin, which I am Kingpin. Let me see, where do I see that? I am Kingpin 17. Every time you kind of level up after that, you get rewards and stuff. And to be honest, this game is very generous in giving you like stuff. Like, I think I only did a little bit of grinding for weapons. Like, I've a lot of the gear and stuff you get for your ships, it'll tend to give you in chests and stuff. So one of the other endgame loops is doing kind of boss battles, which you'll see there's like various world bosses here. Sometimes you'll be fighting ships, warships with different abilities and stuff. Sometimes you'll be fighting ghost ships. Sometimes you'll be fighting sea creatures, which is really, really cool. When it comes to the ships, there's a lot of different builds. I'm just going to really quickly show you the ships. We've got different ship types. We've got small ships, and we've got, well, extra small, and we've got large ships. So there's the small ships. As you can see, each ship has a kind of a recommend. I say recommended because you can essentially make any ship into anything, but some ships obviously play into certain ones. So the small ships, they're pretty good starting off, but I think most people, you can make the small ships competitive and like kind of end game from what I've seen. But generally, kind of, yeah, the small ships you kind of use starting off, and then you move on to the kind of the larger ships. As you can see there, some of them are tanks, which give bonuses to bracing in combat in this game, which we'll go over in a minute. I'll show you what it's like. Bracing is basically how you reduce damage. We've also got some ships that are DPS. That one's based on ramming. That is a support ship, which heals. That one does fire damage, and then we've got our medium ships. Again, different perks. Vanguard, there's a different perk. There's a tank. I've played around with most of them. I've been having the most fun with the Brigantine because it's the fastest ship in the game. Most ships average around 11 knots, 11 to 12 knots, depending on the ship. And then if you have the sails and the winds to you, you can get 17. I've upgraded my brig and I can get 21, which is really nice. Now, the only kind of downside I'm noticing, the brig, or the brigantine, sorry, its whole thing is kind of based around ramming damage and flooding damage. And from what I've gathered, flood damage is kind of one of the weakest forms of damage in the game. So I kind of, but again, you don't have to, you don't have to play into the ship's kind of strengths if you don't want to. I feel like if you're min-maxing, you definitely will. And then we've got some other ships here. They added this season. They added a large class ship, the frigate. Now, when this goes live, you probably will be able to buy the ship, which from a specific vendor. I think next, when the new season, they're adding another ship. This is a large ship. I have yet to unlock it. Basically, huge. So we're gonna really quickly go to. There's two as you progress through the game. There's two kind of like locations or dens. You've got St. Anne's, and then eventually you unlock Teluk, Penjara. We're going to head to there now. There is fast travel in the game, because obviously you can sail everywhere you want, but sometimes it's nicer to fast travel. The two ways you can fast travel is if you're docked at one of either these dens. Let me bring up the map. Or one of the various outposts. These little symbols here, these are outposts. If you're docked at one of them, you can essentially fast travel to any other outpost as long as you're docked, but it costs silver. The other way you can fast travel if you're not docked is you can fast travel to one of these events. It'll basically put you close to the event. I tend to use that when I'm zipping around the map. But yeah, so we're going to really quickly look at some of the ships and show you kind of how they... So I'll show you a quick look of this is my fleet so far. We got my brig. We got a schooner that I'm kind of working on. I have not spent any money on this game at all, so all of these cosmetics and stuff were earned in-game. A lot of them you can earn in-game. There is bark. There's sharpshooter. We got the brig, the defender and stuff. So we'll look at my hull breaker, or my brig for a minute. So as you can see, we've got, we go to manage cargo and manage a ship. So in this game, you can be a pirate and you can get your, you don't have to, well, you kind of have to be a pirate, but you can get your cargo via many ways. You can steal it. You can buy it. What sort of pirate buys it? So you can load up a load of stuff. See here, I've got some rubies. I've got some tobacco. I've got some ambergris, which is whale poop. And all of these stuff, and you can essentially just kind of make a little bit of a trading empire by going across to various settlements. There's different factions in the games, and some factions will pay you more than others. Now, if we check out the managed ships, so we've got weapon customization. So all of the medium ships have access to the same amount of weapon slots, and I believe you can upgrade the small ships. Now, there is a slight caveat to that, which we'll get to in a second. So you've got forward-facing weapons, you've got broadside weapons, you've got rear-facing weapons, and you've got auxiliary weapons. Now, for the most part, your forward-facing, rear-facing, and broadside weapons can all be the same thing. But your auxiliary weapons will tend to be kind of like different. It's usually like a mortar, a rocket. It can be a spring loader, which can be used for healing. Primary weapon. We'll go through the weapons real quick of the different kind of what we have. Again, if you go into this codex is very good. So all deck weapons, these are basically weapons that you can put on all deck. What I was saying, a little caveat about some weapons. So most medium ships will have, on the broadside, it will have weapons above deck, cannons, and then it will have slots for cannons underneath. These culverins and demi cannons, if you equip them on the side, you will get access to up to 8, depending on it. Culverins are basically medium range. As you can see here, so this is where you'll kind of see where it's kind of similar to kind of Destiny or a game like that. So you've got like kind of different tiers of weapons. You've got like green tier, which are basically just kind of like upgraded like normal weapons with some perks on them. These ones will either have tearing, which they do tearing damage there, or fire. And then with the blue weapons, you start to kind of get into the rare weapons. Blue weapons usually will have a perk as well as a kind of a trait, I suppose you could call it. So these ones, for instance, Basilisk increases the charge rate of vulnerable effect, piercing, and then we've got this one here. And then you've got purple weapons. Now, purple weapons, for the most part, they're usually tied to either the battle pass, called the smuggler pass, or they're tied to in-game events. Some of these you can't access because they might have kind of been seasonal, but most of them you can access. We've also got the demi cannons. Demi cannons are basically just imagine like a shotgun cannon. Again, we've got we've only got one set of blues, and then we've got some other ones. So top deck weapons are weapons that you can only place on the top deck. We've got long guns, which are like basically like snipers. Got a cool variety of them. We get different ones. Some weapons will actually allow you to heal, like this one, for instance. No, not that one. This one. 5% of the damage dealt heals. Very, very cool. You can, again, with this game, it kind of has that MMO kind of mentality. It's almost MMO, I say. Or I suppose more of the class system of you got your DPS, your kind of support, and your tank. And your support can heal. I've come across some people, because in-game, you can heal via repair kits, but there is also healing weapons. So next we've got bombards. These are basically big-ass cannons, or kind of like mortars. No, they're not mortars. Mortars are different, sorry. These ones are pretty cool. I've kind of used them a little bit. The meta for a lot of them is these ones here. These are Ottoman ones that fire all at once. I don't mind them, but I feel like they don't really scratch the itch for me. And we got torpedoes. I've actually really liked torpedoes. I've been rocking these Hellgate Serpent. I got them gifted in a box. Again, the game will throw stuff at you. I honestly, like, I was playing the game, and I think I got maybe halfway through the story, and then I decided to start grinding for materials and stuff. So when it comes to upgrading your ship and upgrading your weapons and crafting weapons, because you can craft weapons in this game as well as purchasing them, you'll need a lot of different resources. You'll need various types of wood, various types of metal, and various types of fabric, and also other kind of stuff. And I kind of stupidly decided to go grinding them, not realizing that, like, when you get to kind of the end game, or the kind of the higher levels of the story mode, they will just start throwing weapons and crafting material at you, which is really, really nice. So then if we go to our bow weapons, there is bow weapons. We've got ballistas. Haven't really messed too much with ballistas. I messed with them a little bit. I don't like the whole charging. And then we have flamethrowers for the front of the ships. And then finally, we've got auxiliary weapons. We've got mortars, rockets, spring loaders. Mortars, big-ass bombards. Rockets, they're pretty cool. And then spring loaders basically drop mines in the water. You can have ones, like the Little Grace will drop a healing mine. Very cool. You can also drop incendiary mines and stuff. Very, very cool. We also got ship armor, which early on gives some stats, and then like the exotic ones, I think that's what it's called actually, the exotic, they have unique perks. Like currently on my build, I am rocking, where is it? Here, I am rocking the Crimson Lotus. When using a crew attack, broadside weapons deal more damage. So crew attacks basically when you do, like all ships, or most ships have crits, little red spots, which we'll show you in a minute. I'll do some combat while we're kind of doing around in a minute. Hitting those weak points and breaking them allows you to basically do crew attacks, where you can basically get close to ship, press Y, and your ship will either throw fire bombs, or it will shoot muskets, or you can essentially board. And yeah, we've also got furniture. So the way furniture works on ships is it basically just kind of buffs your ship. So for instance, if we go to my ship, I've got furniture. So you can have one major furniture, which is purple. And then, so my one is I restore health when I do a crew attack. And then I've got ones that increase your acceleration, increase ramming, increase hull. There's loads of different ones. There's ones that increase damage with various weapons. There's a lot of them. Basically, there's one cater to like almost every building. Here we got some. This one here, consecutive hits decrease the reload time of your weapons up to 15%. Hitting a target applies marked. Increase the appear amount when your ship's below health. Reduce damage taken and increase threat regeneration while anchored. So that's threat generation. That's really good if you're playing a tank and you want enemies to focus you, not your teammates. So ultimates, that's just for multiplayer. We'll look at the ship cosmetics real quick. So you can customize, again, a lot of these sets. If you see silver, buy them. It means you can buy them with silver, so you can acquire them in game. If you see that symbol there, it's like you see at the top right, of my screen, I've got 14,000 of them. They're called pieces of 8. You could earn them. They're like an endgame currency. And then the gold little thing, square, that's gold. That means you need to spend money on. So a lot of the stuff you can unlock, but like obviously some of the cooler sets you're going to have to throw money. You don't need to. We've got ship armor and stuff. Each ship has a unique armor that you can buy. This one is quite cool. Armor skin, that's just you can enable or disable it. We've got your sail color, you've got a pattern, and you've got an emblem. You've got your figurehead, because, you know, you need a figurehead. We got your hull colors. Okay. We've got your ornaments. We've got your name, your wheel, your little wind thingy. Your crew. My crew are dressed like the sea people. You've got your little companion. I got a lemur. You can get like it's weirdly, it doesn't show you everything. You can get little puddles. He's so cute. Don't ask me what we're gonna do when he grows up. And then we got Ruckus. A little cool. There's also more. I don't know why it doesn't show. You have to kind of look around. Then we have like more attachments. Again, like this is kind of where the main monetization of this game comes to. If you want to make your ship look really, really badass, you might have to spend money. I personally, my only kind of real gripe is honestly like the color palettes, like say the sails, like some of the nicer ones are definitely you got to spend money on them. But again, that's a minor thing. So yes, we're going to do a little bit of sailing, and we're going to do some combat real quick. We're going to do a boss fight, and I'm going to kind of show you. We're going to do an easy boss fight if I can find one. Where are we? Not you. You would kick my arse. Yeah, we'll do this one. Yeah, this starts 34 seconds, so we're going to fast travel. So the combat in the game, very, very fun. It's if you play Black Flag, it's similar to Black Flag. Oh, I've got my Darndales, don't I? Why? No, okay, I've got cannons, okay. So we're gonna... the bosses kind of circulate every so often, and depending on your level, so the way it works is as you put higher tier weapons and armor into your ship, it gets higher level. You can also upgrade your ship at the shipwright. There's like 7 levels altogether. I think when you upgrade, I think this one's like level 4. You unlock an extra perk at level 6. Which is really... Oh, there we go. It just appeared, I think. Yeah, there we go. There's the captain. Where is... Oh, lovely. He's behind me. I'm gonna... Got a little escort there. We're gonna come around. Oh, that's not his escort. We're gonna come around. This is kind of why I like the brig, because it's extremely agile. Now, collision does a little bit of damage, but doesn't do a whole lot. So I'm gonna start this encounter by firing some torpedoes. And then we're gonna boom, boom, boom them. As you can see, when I'm like zooming in close enough, Sorry, I'm usually very good at this. It's just going on. I'm like level 12, I think. So this, or I think I'm level 10. This enemy won't do a lot of damage to me. Let's get closer again. So you see the wind, little symbol on my map to the left. That little white arrow at the top that keeps moving around. That is my wind. So you can see those little red things. They are your weak points. If I try and target them, eventually breaking one. I'm going to just slow down completely because I can tank this one. Now, obviously, some bosses are a lot more difficult, and you might actually have to, you know, like, put some effort in and move. Come here, you. This is a low-level boss, by the way. There we go. So I've done it. I can now fire my muskets. My crew will do a little animation. Which, while I'm doing this animation, I believe I'm invincible, and then I gain a little bit of health. Now, when he's firing, I can hold RB to brace. Oh, he broke the mast. I can hold RB to brace. Bracing negates your damage. I'm going to be honest with you. I am very bad at bracing. It's kind of like in games where you have to block or dodge. I am crap at it. That's kind of why I went for the break. If my health drops really low, I just run away. Like a true pirate. There's another weak point there. We're going to just hammer that. Again, this is very much a low-level ship. If this was higher level, I would be wanting to move a lot more. There we go, musket damage. I'm going to heal a little bit. Depending on the ship type, obviously if you're using other ships, you won't. You got like firebomb. Oh, reinforcements are coming. There's a little loot there. I'm going to grab that. So killing these will give you unique currency, in-game currency. There you go, we killed them. Now you see I loot. I got some pieces of 8, and I got some smuggler points. So I'm gonna show you the true potential. One of the cool things about this game is you can swap into first person, kind of, not first person, or you can go top view. I'm gonna ram these bad boys. Excuse me. Excuse me. Apologies. Very, very apologies. We'll do some sailing. So yeah, so the game itself, like, it's obviously sailing. It's very fun. I adored Black Flag. I thought Black Flag was really, really good. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's not Black Flag. There is no ground combat. I believe the developers are trying to work on ground combat. To be honest, I don't really care too much about ground combat. There is like walking around and stuff at like outposts. But again, for the most part, it's just, yeah. Now, when it comes to endgame, I'm going to show you two things to kind of, so like where the kind of the gameplay loop is. We're going to really quickly go and dock at this port. So we talked about the pieces of 8, which you get from defeating all the bosses, and then some boss will give you guild marks. And guild marks are basically used to be spent at a certain vendor that allows you to purchase stuff from past events and past smuggler passes, so previous battle passes. And this is kind of what honestly has kept me playing. So like, when the game launched, there was only a few ships, and then through I think we're at year 2, every kind of season they would add a new ship. I'm gonna really quickly go to... So every season they would add like new ships and new weapons and stuff, and obviously some of the weapons you can't get, obviously. But all the ships you get access to via guild marks. Like I said, I've been playing the game for... Oh, someone is asking for help. What level are they? That's level 14. I am not high enough level to do that. So you come to this gentleman here, and you can do quests for him as well, but if I go and buy and sell, you see I've got 3,400 of the guild marks. To buy the ship blueprints, it costs 100. I have bought all of them. Again, these are very easy to get. There was double XP over the weekend, which gave double these. Like I said, I've probably sank maybe... Actually, let me see. Will it show me? Hopefully, I'm not about to... How do I... Okay, Skull and Bones. So I've been playing for... Let me see what my hours are. Progress. Not show me... Will it not show me how long I played for? Alright, so it won't show me. Why won't it show me? Weird. Normally it shows you like how much time you've played. Let me see. When did I get my first achievement? That would be the best thing. Let me go back down. So I started playing on the 14th to the 10th. So yeah, I've been basically off and on playing it for a week, and I've already earned enough resources or enough of these guild marks to buy all of the new ships from the different seasons. And I bought some other stuff. I bought that armor from a different season. So yeah, so the FOMO, which there is some stuff you can miss out on, like I said, but like for the most part, anything that is substantial to the game, like all the ships you can unlock, you spend like I said, I've been at it a week. I'm not even at like true endgame. I haven't upgraded to world tier 2, but I've like unlocked everything from that, like everything along from that vendor and more. So you've got the main story, and you've got side stories, you got repeatable quests. And then over here, so you can harvest materials for upgrading, like I was saying. You see there, you zoom in, you've got like sharks, you've got different types of trees, or different types of wood, different types of metal, different types of food. You can cook food and kind of use food to boost your crew's abilities. Again, I haven't really been fiddling too much with that. So with the shipwright, you can upgrade your ships and modify them and buy a lot of stuff. So again, at the shipwright, you can buy a lot of cosmetic items. I can buy a lemur. You can also upgrade your ships. This is where like your ships get unique perks. So currently, if we look at the upgrade tree, so when you get every ship to level 3, you basically it gets a little faster, and then level 6 you get new perks. So for this one, my brigantine, if I got to level 6, it would increase damage from ramage based on speed, and then if the target's flooded. Let me just really quickly show you some other ones. Where's my junk? So there's my battle junk. That one, obviously, the battle junk's whole thing is about taunting enemies. You can upgrade it. Now, it uses various resources depending on, you know, as you see there, I need, like, various planks, pieces that only drop from specific enemies. Those Azure Dragon heads and Yellow Dragon banners, they drop by specific enemies They drop by specific enemies. So certain resources you can farm, like metal, wood, and fabrics, and then certain ones you will have to go out and find. There's a refiner, which allows you to upgrade your materials and stuff. So like, let's say if I go and find raw material, I can refine it into like the actual material. So I have a load of teak, I can make that into teak planks. That'll cost a little bit of time. We can also upgrade, so like, let's say for instance, we can make there's some blue materials, they're specialized. Crafting sand or casting sand, we can upgrade, and we've got a lot. Most of them don't take too long, they take like 15 seconds. These ones take 30 minutes. How long do they take?
My sisters are getting along.
Yeah, okay, so these ones take 30 minutes, which, yeah, that's kind of a long time. Not too long though. I gotta make that real quick. So yeah, so you can again, I did very little farming because I farmed, and then I realized the game just kind of throws stuff at you. Now, it'll probably get to a point where, like, you know, like, you probably will have to farm if you wanted to, say, like, fully upgrade multiple ships. Like, fully upgrade. But I've got, like, 3 or 4 ships maxed. Not maxed, but, like, kind of, like, halfway there. So the other vendor you have, and the other kind of endgame feature of this is the Helm. So when you get to Kingpin, you basically unlock the ability to take over like territories, like various different. So like on the map, there's different. Let me just go to normal map. So we've got like lumber mills, we've got fortresses, we've got cities, we've got foundries, we've got where's the clothing places? There's places that make cloth. Now you can go to these places. There we go. We've got weavers. You can go to these places and you can buy materials off them. But with the Helm, you can essentially you can take them over and you can make them produce things. Like for instance, I've taken over this one, and I can produce these materials. These ones specifically just give you piece of 8, which you can use in a vendor. We'll check in a minute. But you can also make materials like, say, for instance, dry sand, lime, stuff like that. You can also, when we go to we're going to go to the smuggler real quick. There's the death tides where the multiplayer is. Again, I haven't touched it. I probably won't touch it. I did some Googling, and apparently it can be a little bit toxic in that, like, this was obviously very much a PvE game. There is some PvP, like, public events, I think. I, again, stay away from, I play this game to sail ships and shoot NPCs. I don't want to have to worry about, you know, triggering the wrong person. So we're going to go in here, and eventually you do enough quests, you will unlock this woman here, and you will unlock the black market. So the black market, you use your pieces of 8 to buy various things. Again, you can buy farming materials here, generally quite cheap. Again, they kind of throw pieces of 8 at you as you're going through the quest. Now, again, I'm assuming once I do most of the main quest, I will have to grind a bit, but yeah, like I've been using it to buy, like, say, like certain materials that are kind of, you know, rarer. You can also buy weapons and blueprints, a lot of the blueprints from past seasons.
I better check the
As you can see there, we've got like rigging stations and stuff, and then we've got cosmetics, we got a little cat, we got Mr. Bravo. It's that one there. So yeah, like, again, there's very little in the sense of FOMO. You can grab a lot of things. Now, with the Helm itself, you will eventually unlock your smuggler's hideout. And part of the Helm is like what I was showing you. You can take over like kind of resources and locations, and you can manufacture. The other one is you have like distilleries. So in this location here, I have a distillery. In the other haven, which is like Penjara, you can you have another one. So here I can make White Skull rum and White Skull gin. I can use these to sell to sell to one of the Helm vendors, John Skurlock. He is initially he gives you quests. Eventually you can buy stuff from him. So I can provide materials, so sugarcane, to basically make stuff. And then that one is what one? That one was some juniper berries. In order to get these materials, you launch your missions on your supply network. Here we go. So you see here, you can get standing orders. I can buy them. Again, they're there and there and there, where you can basically sell. Oh, sorry, that's where you sell stuff. Apologies. This one is where you buy stuff. So if I go to the order registry, I can... Oh, no, wait, yeah, no. Did I activate the wrong thing? I know. There we go. So with the supply network, you can go and buy them for, like, say, for instance, I can buy 40 sugarcane for 600 silver. There's also roving ones, which means that they are basically parked up in a boat. You can actually rob these ones, which is pretty funny. I haven't done that because I feel kind of bad. There's also attacks where you can attack. So this is what I was saying about, like, so certain upgrades, you'll need certain materials, like gannets. These guys, for a lot of the upgrades I'm doing, you need gannet saltpeter. In order to make gannet saltpeter, you need the gannet, so these guys drop that. You can also plunder forts and stuff. I have yet to do that because they're high level. But yeah, that's pretty much it with the Helm. I haven't messed too much about it because it's the sort of thing where you can make bank and you can, like, micromanage. You can set up, like, with the Helm, you can actually assign ships to, like, deliver your stuff. So when you produce it, it'll deliver them. But you, to my knowledge, you have to actually go and ferry the materials. So this one's making jade. So in order to make jade, I would need to deliver raw jade to it. Currently, it's not producing anything because I have not given it any raw jade. But yeah, see, it says deliver raw jade. But that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this video, and if you're new here, obviously subscribe. I do other content. I'm gonna be streaming this probably during the week, but it's a really fun game, and I think you should definitely give it a go. If you were initially not a fan of it, or maybe you heard some bad things about it, I would honestly give it a go. Like I said, I put the best part of a week into it, and I've been having fun making kind of builds and stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.